Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. A thank you to my newest patrons, Marco and Nav. I greatly appreciate you both. First up today, the world's first crewless zero-emissions cargo ship is set to set sail in Norway. And I thought this was pretty cool because it had some world firsts. So this Norwegian company has created the first zero-emission autonomous cargo ship, set to make its first journey between two Norwegian towns, which is important, you'll know why in a minute, with no crew on board. Its movements will be monitored from 3 onshore data control centers. This is supposed to be the first fully electric container ship called the Yara Birkeland, and its goal is essentially to move freight away from the roads and onto the sea. This CNN article says that the shipping industry currently accounts for between 2.5% and 3% of global greenhouse gas emissions, but if you go to the EPA.gov and look at the latest chart, you can see that transportation is around 30%. Now, obviously that's more than just shipping, but under that transportation sector, they do actually include ships in here. So what the real figure is, I don't think anybody actually knows, but getting more shipping off of the roads where there is more traffic and into the sea, as far as I know, would definitely be a good thing. The article says that this ship will use a 7 megawatt hour battery, and it says with about 1,000 times the capacity of one electrical car, they call it, but I think the math is wrong because 7 megawatt hours is equivalent to 7,000 kilowatt hours. The average EV, let's just say, uses a 75 kilowatt hour pack, so that would only be about 100 times a typical EV, not 1,000 times. If I'm missing something here, please let me know. But they are hoping for this ship to ultimately replace 40,000 truck journeys every year. But as is typically the case with most new technology, there is always a limiting factor. Shout out Jordan, hope you're well. But things like navigating traffic in large ports could be a major obstacle without crew on board. Also, same goes for actually having the crew to inspect the ship, and then who is going to be in charge or responsible if something goes wrong. And in the future, of course, when more ships are more autonomous, they are going to have to communicate with each other when it comes to planning routes and navigating ports, etc. But fully electric autonomous ships, count me in, I think it's cool. And the world's largest chip maker is set to raise prices. I'm surprised we haven't heard something like this sooner, to be honest, but TSMC is set to increase prices of their most advanced chips by about 10%, and the less advanced chips will cost about 20% more, which I find to be slightly odd, but either way, customers like automakers, hence Tesla and the rest of the automotive space, will cost about 20% more, so the automotive sector is set to see these higher price bumps from these chip companies, at least in the short term, specifically from TSMC. And if you recall, late last year, there was a report that Tesla was planning for its next-gen self-driving chip to use that 7 nanometer process from, you guessed it, TSMC. But then a few months later, actually earlier this year, there was another report stating that Tesla was now going to partner with Samsung on a 5 nanometer chip. So at this point, it's a little murky what Tesla's relationship with TSMC ultimately will be going forward. And look, I think the cost of chips relative to the overall vehicle is not a massive deal. So, this is nothing crazy, but definitely something to watch. And, is it going to have an impact on Tesla's margins? Only time will tell. I guess it's possible. But like I always say, we don't have anywhere near all of the information. Maybe Tesla has a long-standing relationship or a contract years into the future where they will avoid this type of price bump, but the only people that really know are Tesla and TSMC. Moneyball on Twitter shared Tesla made in China Model Y standard range starts deliveries in Beijing, the vehicle that many people were anticipating at that lower price point that a lot of people in the Shanghai market really wanted. So good job to the Tesla team, and that's great news. Getting to this new report. Well, as you can see, the headline, Volkswagen is the most innovative car company in 2021. We have to at least take a look at what's going on here. To start, this is the result of a new study by the German-based Center of Automotive Management, or CAM. Now, if we go back to December of 2019, we look at the same report, we can see Volkswagen was once again the most innovative automobile manufacturer, followed by Daimler and BMW. So a mere 2 years ago, and Tesla was in 4th place. And it might be tough for you to see, but here is Tesla in 4th place. And the way they do it, they have number of innovations, they have world first innovations, and then there's an innovation strength score. I'll explain that momentarily. But from 2 years ago, the head of CAM, Stefan Bratzel, a quote from him, The swan song to the German automotive industry is premature. The actual technological strengths of Volkswagen, Daimler, and BMW are significantly better than is generally perceived by the public. Now look, before we get any further into this, I just need to say something. So, no matter what your criteria are, no matter what your motives are, ultimately, when you have studies like this and you zoom out and just ask yourself point blank the simple question, right now, who is the world's most innovative car company? Period. If your answer isn't Tesla, your answer is wrong. And honestly, I don't care how you try to manipulate the criteria or jig the numbers to maybe get the result that you ultimately want, because flat out, Volkswagen is not the most innovative car company on the planet. Anybody that really knows what they're talking about knows that to be the case. All you really have to do is take a look and see how every step Volkswagen has made has been following in the path of Tesla. Not to mention, take a look at the ID.4. Most early reviews are that the technology stinks. A lot of people in Shanghai don't like the technology, and a lot of the consumers are basically saying, hey, you know, your software is lagging, you have a long way to go. And yes, Tesla's not perfect, but to say that Volkswagen is somehow more innovative than Tesla on any level, manufacturing, technology, safety, it's just not true. Now look, some of these companies are definitely doing good things, and as you'll see, they do have certain things where they are innovating, but ultimately the weighting index that the study uses is just way off. And here you have it. Innovations are evaluated not only according to quantitative, but also qualitative criteria. To determine its ranking, CAM looked at the innovations of 30 global car manufacturers and startups with approximately 80 car brands. Innovation was recorded individually and evaluated by CAM according to criteria such as originality and customer benefit. And at least the latter seems highly subjective to me. But look, we don't need to spend much more time here. As you can see, VW 1, Daimler 2, Tesla 3 for the most innovative automotive OEMs overall in 2021. And bumping down to the ranking of the most innovative premium brands in 2021, Tesla is in second place, barely beating out BMW and trailing Mercedes. And as you can see, they have things like a travel assist feature, wireless charging, local hazard information. So essentially any small little new innovation can be counted as the tally. And then they have their subjective index score where they weight how much each thing should ultimately matter. But I did want to at least spend a minute here, because any article, any report that says that Tesla is not the most innovative company on the planet, the most innovative automaker, is just laughable and really makes you think that there is an ulterior motive. Like I said, I don't care what the criteria is, because zooming out and answering the simple question, there's only one answer. Some of you might disagree with me. Please let me know below. I would love to hear why. Let's move on. So back in March, I believe there was a big news story out of Dallas that a new Model Y caused a house to catch on fire. Long story short, Green the Only shared some video footage from the car that you'll see the Model Y definitely was not the reason the fire started. So if that individual or homeowner was looking for a payout, I think they're out of luck. And as you can see from this clip, the owner is about to actually step out of the Tesla while the fire is already underway and it's charging. And this is the battery pack. So I don't know about you, but it doesn't look like this was the start of the fire. Elon responded to Holmars on Twitter saying, Beta 10 will be next level. Look, we've heard pronouncements like this. It's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be next level before, so keep your expectations in check. But it is expected that Beta 10 is the one where they will be consolidating everything into the vision-only singular neural net, which maybe it does make a huge leap forward, and Elon did say that the button may be available in a few months, if not sooner, so we'll wait and see. Probably the most trendy news story of the day, the new Tesla app is out. It's an entirely new user interface. Now, I won't spend a ton of time here because this news has been circulated a lot already. But as you can see, there is a new widget. Sadly, there's no controls from the widget. Some people are saying this is an iOS limitation, not Tesla's doing. But my friend Cody from CF Tesla did a great job of reviewing the app, so the video and his channel are linked below. I'm just going to play it for you and read through some of the highlights real quick. So as you can see, it's a completely new user interface. You sadly can't move or change icons around on the main screen. There is some haptic feedback now when you change the charge limit slider. And no, sadly, you cannot set your departure times like many people were asking, and you can't set the charge rate, once again, as many people were asking. There are some new animations. It's a lot more interactive. The Tesla shop is now directly in the app, and you can also manage your premium connectivity. The mobile service and the service center part is different and overhauled. There are now video guides directly on the app. Once again, sadly, one of the main feature requests, having the ability to view the cameras and to view Sentry mode alerts in the app, is not yet here. So I know many people were disappointed about that. But overall, I think a lot of people will like the new user interface, and the seats, like if you have white interior, will show. And I know that some Android users were having problem with the download. Some people are suggesting that if you uninstall the app and re-download it, yes, you'll have to reconnect it to your car, but that might be a solution if you're having a problem. But if you had the opportunity to review the new app, let me know below. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? So according to some unofficial data, Tesla may have passed 1 million sales of the Model 3 vehicle. I'm not even going to get into it because, like I said, this is unofficial data, and whether it's 900,000 or 1.2 million, whatever the actual number, just a few years ago, there was a time when this car was the make or break vehicle for Tesla. Clearly, the Model 3 ended up making Tesla, and now they are off to the races. But I think it's important to slow down and stop and take a look back and remember those times in production hell, and when Tesla was literally on the brink and many people were wondering if it was going to succeed. And fast forward to today, and Tesla is one of the most dominant companies on the planet. So cheers to Tesla, the employees, the community, and everybody that has supported Tesla all along the way. Last item for today, Tesla is building its first supercharging station in Alaska, and this map makes it kind of funny. All the way up here, kind of close to Anchorage, you see this is where that new supercharging station is going. And yes, this will be America's northernmost supercharger, and it is now under construction. But that's all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. I hope you guys have a great day, and a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.